Hello, this is Geek Club Total Shambles, and today I will be doing a Java tutorial on if statements. Basically, an if statement detects if a condition is true and executes the code within the statement. In an if statement, you can use multiple operators to check whether the condition is true or false. So there is the greater than symbol, the less than symbol, equal to, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to, and there's also not equal to. Okay, now let's test these in a new if statement. Okay, so I'll create two variables, x and y. Now let's put these in an if statement, checking if x is greater than y. And let's print a message if the condition is true. Right, so now let's run the code. The code doesn't run because this condition is not true. X is not greater than y. But let's change it around and check if x is less than y. The message prints inside the if statement because this is true. X is less than y. Let's change the variables a bit and use different statements. So first I'll check if they're not equal to. That printed true. Now let's make x the same as y. And what's going on here? Hold on. Okay, so now let's check if x is less than y. The code inside the if statement does not print because x is the same as y. It's not less than it. If this was going to be true, x would have to be at most 22. Which, as you can see here. Now let's try checking if x is less than or equal to y. This prints because x isn't equal to y, so that shouldn't print. But this operator also checks if it's equal to this. So it printed because x is equal to y. There's also something else. An else statement. An else statement prints its own code if the above if statement didn't return true. So I'll check if x is not equal to y, which will return false. And then this code in the else statement will run. So let's print something here. Right, now let's run the code. The code from the else statement ran because this wasn't true. X is equal to y, but this checks if it's not. So it skipped this and went straight to the else statement. But what if the condition in the if was true? It ignores the else statement because the if statement returned true. So this is useless because it's already been successful. And an else statement only runs if the previous statement was unsuccessful. There's also another kind of statement that you can add to your if chain, an else if statement. So an else if statement checks if the above statement was unsuccessful, but it also has a condition of its own that it will then pass to another condition. So let's just do another else statement. So x, let's put this back to x is greater than y. That will then pass this on to the else if statement. So now let's put a condition here that will make this run. So let's do if x equals y. Hold on. Right. So the code from the else if statement ran because it was passed down to the else if statement because the if was unsuccessful, and the else if statement does what it can with another condition and prints its own if that is true. But what if it's not true in the else if statement? Let's just write some code in the else statement. Same statement a lot. Right, let's print it. It printed high because the code in the if statement wasn't true, so it passed it down to the else if statement. And the code in the else if statement wasn't true, so it passed it down to the else statement, finally printing this. That will be all for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.